Hi everyone and welcome. Today I'm going to walk you through step by step through some of the most useful beginner tricks in Excel. We'll go nice and slow so you can follow along even if this is your very first time using Excel. By the end of this lesson, you'll know how to use AutoSum, autofill, apply accounting borders, add commas, and remove decimals. All of the basics you need to make a clean, professional looking spreadsheet. So open up Excel and let's get started together. All right, and looking at our spreadsheet, and I will give you a link to this spreadsheet so you can follow along too. This is just as if we were working on our sales for first quarter, second quarter, third, and fourth quarter. You could also use this if you're in a business for keeping up with your sales, or you could convert it to be a monthly budget sheet. But the tools that we're going to use, the formatting tools we're going to use, are universal in many parts of Excel and how you use them. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to click in cell F2. And the reason we're clicking in cell F2 is because we are going to sum our annual sales. So in clicking in cell F2, making sure you are on the home screen, we're going to come over here and click AutoSum. In this particular case, Excel has highlighted exactly what we would like to sum. Had it not highlighted what we wanted to sum, notice I'm just clicking around on the page. The way we would change that is we would click where we want it to start, hold, and drag. And now once again it says equal sum B2 through E2. We're going to press enter, and this is going to give us our annual sales for Liam Carter. We're going to come back up to cell F2, and this time what we're going to do is right here in this bottom right hand corner where my mouse is moving, we are going to click on this little green handle, hold, and drag it down. And what it's going to do is it's going to fill, because that is known as the autofill handle, our same formula. So if you look right here, it's going to be B3, E3. I click on the next one, it's going to be B4 through F4, which is exactly what we're dealing with right here. This is B4 through E4. Now we're going to total our column. So in order to total our column, we're going to come here under the last entry. Once again, we're going to come up here to AutoSum. Click on AutoSum. We have our blinking ants once again where we need them, equal sum B2 through B6. We're going to press enter. And then we're going to come back to B7, click on the fill handle, and drag it across. So now we have our completed totals. However, we do want to clean this up a little bit and make it look a little more professional. So we're going to come in and we're going to highlight all of our numbers. After we highlight all of our numbers, we're going to come here to the comma and click on the comma. And after we click on comma, we're going to get rid of these extra zeros that we do not need in this spreadsheet. So we're going to come right here. Notice where my mouse is hovering, it says decrease decimal. And I am going to click it 2 times to remove all of our decimals. Now that we have removed all the zeros, we are going to come in here and we're going to simply type in this cell right here, overall sales. And we are also going to come in here and highlight cells B7 through F7. And we are going to do what is known as an accounting border because we are finished with our math. So we're going to come up here to borders. We're going to do the drop down and we're going to select top and double bottom border. And then what this will give us is a top single line and a double bottom line. Now another thing that we need to do is we need to come in here and we should add our dollar signs on the top row. So in adding our dollar signs on the top row, if you notice right here, this is a dollar sign and it is in the proper accounting format, because you notice when I hover over, it will say accounting number format. If I was to do the drop down, I have different options as far as the type of accounting formats, or if I actually wanted currency, I could come in here and I could click on currency. Let me show you where I did the currency again. Right here under number, I have the option of doing currency, or I have the option of doing accounting. I'm going to show you the difference between the two. First, we will do the accounting option. So if you notice on the accounting option, it did put the zeros back in there. I'm going to simply remove those. And so now in an accounting ledger, the dollar sign is always to the left and the new number value is always to the right. Let's undo that for just a second. And now let's go back into our additional, which we could actually do the drop down right here and pull currency up. So I'm going to do the drop down, and you notice that now the dollar sign is touching up against the number. I prefer as an accounting major to use the accounting format. So I'm going to go back to the accounting format, decrease our decimals just so they're not showing, and then I'm going to come right here for our bottom line because it should also have the accounting format. And I want you to notice when I did put that accounting format in there, it kicked those decimals back in, but it also gave us a bunch of number signs right here. All this means is that our text is longer than the column width. Once I remove the decimals, I'm sure that it will go away, but what I want to show you and how to fix it should we need to keep those decimals, if you will come right here and between F and G, and you notice when I hover over F and G, my mouse goes from a white plus to double cross-haired arrows. If I would just take and double click, it would then allow me to see the full dollar amount. It will adjust that column width for me automatically. Another way you can do this is to just simply go right here when you get the double cross-haired arrows, is click, hold, and drag to the length you need. Now I am going to come in here once again and I'm going to remove the decimals because they're irrelevant for this project. And one other thing that I do want to share with you is I want you to come in here, you can highlight. The way you highlight is you click in the cell that you're interested in highlighting, and if it's multiple cells, then you click in the middle, hold, and drag. And when I say hold, that means hold your left key on your mouse down. So now that we have highlighted, I'm going to say bold, and now you notice that we have a very nice clean looking spreadsheet. Let's say that for quarter 4, Liam did go in and make one last sale last minute, and so now he is up to 80,000. When I enter that 80,000 in, I want you to notice not only does it enter the comma and the dollar sign, it'll also adjust right here the total, it will adjust here the total, and it will adjust here the total. So we had 72, we changed it to 80. Notice it did the correct math. The reason it's doing that is because if you will come right here where it says formulas and then say show formulas, these are not static numbers. Anything that's written like this is considered a static number. This is actually a function, and that function in this particular case is sum, and what the sum function is saying, sum all of these, sum all of these. In this case, sum all of these is B2 colon, which means through B6. The next column, if you look, it's column C, and we are summing equal, because we want to tell the computer to do math, sum, or we want to tell Excel to do math, C2 colon, which means 3, through C6, so it would sum all of these. If we continue to move over, you'll notice that our annual sales are the same. Equal sign, I want you to do some math. What math do I want you to do? I want you to sum. What do I want you to sum? I want you to sum cells B2 through E2. Now to remove this, because we were under formulas, I'm just going to uncheck show formulas to deactivate it. And now we have our spreadsheet that, let's say, even if Ethan came in, and let's bump Ethan up to 35,000. We're able to automatically change our totals without having to recreate and re-add everything manually. So what I said is that I would share this with you in the links so that way you could follow along, so you will see it in the links. And if you have any questions or any tutorials about Excel that you'd like me to help you with, please drop those in the comments. And until next time.